Well, we were fascinated with our recent mushroom pie. There's a link down for that episode. Very nice pie. So now we thought we we're going to go a little bit further and try something new, which is a pepper pie with some cheese, of course, but that's always good. But first up, let's get started with some onion. 2 white onions, coarsely chopped, or finely, whatever you prefer. Get this heated up. Add some oil. I don't know, a couple of tablespoons. Just cover the bottom here. But we don't want to have it on too high heat here. We want them to go on a cold pan and then start slowly warming up so we can sweat them out, because we don't want them to fry. That's not the idea, but we want them to soften up. So while they get started there, we can talk a little bit about our peppers, because we are using Florina peppers, I think they are called, which they are significantly more flavorful than red bell peppers. If you can't find these, you can use red bell peppers, but these have more flavor, and they are ever so slightly more spicy, but not nearly anywhere like chili or something like that. But they have a little bit of...
but more flavor, more aroma.
Much more, much more. So off with the end, and then we cut it down the middle, so we can get rid of the seeds and the stems here, or most of the seeds. I mean, you don't have to be overly anal about it, but get them out there with your fingers in your waste bin here. Nice. So they're sort of out. And then I'm thinking we are just going to cut them like strips like this. We don't want them too big, but we don't either want them too narrow. They have to have some texture.
Of course.
Exactly. We want some texture. So we're going to cut them in sizes like this. I'm going to continue through 1.2 kilos of, well, almost 3 pounds of peppers. And then we will soften these up. So as soon as that's done, we'll get back to you. And now, as you can see, our onions, they are starting to become translucent. So that's about the perfect time. All of our peppers, they go straight in, also to get sauteed and start softening and shrinking up a little bit. At this point, you want to add some salt, because that will help softening them up, draw out a bit of moisture from the peppers. So a good double pinch of salt here. And we let them start reducing, soften up. We want them to be nice and soft before we take them off. But I will show you how we want them to look. So mix it nicely in and let it go for maybe 10 minutes. There we are, 10 minutes in, and the peppers, they are nice and soft. As you can see, they are really soft. And that's what you want. Don't take them further, because they will also bake in the oven. So now we switch this off and we take away the pan to let this cool down, because definitely down to room temperature. You don't want it to be this warm when you put it in your pie. In the meantime, we are going to prep the rest of our ingredients, which is cheeses. Okay, I already prepped this a little bit. This is 300 grams of yellow cheese cubed up. And then we have half a kilo of feta, good, piquant feta from the barrel, fantastic. Our fantastic little meat mincer. I love this thing. I'm not pimping any product. I don't even know the brand name, but this is a fantastic tool also for feta. So just start crumbling, and you see how it crumbles off the top like that. It's much better than a fork or whatever you can. I mean, I love this thing. It takes
convenient tool.
Literally 2 minutes, and I know half a kilo of feta, if you do it with a fork, that takes 10 minutes, and now you see I'm almost already done. So just a little trick there. Your meat mincer can do many more things than mincemeat. I think that's about it. So that we leave to a side. And then the final thing is half a bunch of parsley that we're gonna chop up rather finely. So that's just on with your knife, get it chopped. I'm sure you know how to do that, otherwise you can practice your knife skills. Oh, that's very aromatic actually.
Oh, that's good. Because I don't think I like so much the Greek parsley. The Italian, I think, is better,
but this is Italian broadleaf parsley.
That's
this is
why.
Not this is exactly.
That's why. Okay.
The flat broadleaf Italian parsley is very nice.
Okay.
And that's about it. And now we just have to wait for that to cool off. Then we will start on our dough afterwards. Our peppers and onions are nice and cool, not cold, room temperature. So we just put them in a mixing bowl here. so we can get all of our ingredients put together. So in with the feta. And remember, we did put a couple of pinches of salt in the peppers before, so don't add more salt because the cheeses are salty and you just risk over salting, and that is definitely not nice. Our yellow cheese, nice, in with that. Our parsley. This is going to be a very nice pie, I'm sure. I look forward already. Then we are going to give it a couple of cracks of freshly cracked black pepper. I don't know. Don't overdo it.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. And some crushed chilies, or bukovo, as they're called here in Greece. How much you reckon?
Just half a teaspoon or...
Yeah, something like that.
Just
half a teaspoon.
Yeah.
Don't want it to become overly spicy either. And then we give all this a good, healthy mix so everything is well combined. Oh, this is going to be a good pie. I can feel it already.
Well, who doesn't love pies? It's an excellent snack. Easy to take it with you at work or in an excursion, you know, or at school for the kids.
Yeah, you could even add some meat to this if you wanted to. Now this is vegetarian.
Or you can do I mean, here in Greece it's very popular, you know, pies with different.
Also remember the cottage pie we made recently.
Yeah, we made the cottage pie.
Very
we have done
nice.
also in the past, remember spinach pie, cheese pies. I mean,
there we are. Perfect, mixed. So we put that a little bit to a side here. So I can move on with our oven pot, which we are using in this regular one. And we are using store-bought dough today, and that's perfectly fine. You don't have to go through. Honestly, I love baking, okay? And I love baking breads. You who know the channel, you know that. But for this kind of thing, I don't think it's worth it, to be honest, to go through all the trouble. No, it's just buy it in the store and get it over with. It's much faster. Oil in the pan, just to make sure nothing sticks. So let's spread that around with our... There we are, nice. So we take our first sheet of dough here, flip it over, put it on top, simply like that, and off with the plastic. If you were so inclined, you could roll it a little bit bigger and be really, really anal about it. But honestly,
not necessary.
Just get it in there, because once it bakes, it's gonna be fine. You see how that fits nicely? Small hole. Stuff it like that. It's nice and fine. You don't have to cut anything. Just make it easy for yourself. Anyway, it's going to be a rustic pie. Let's call it that. That's all fine and good. And then it's a simple question of getting in with our mixture here and get it spread around nicely. See, if we have too much, we'll use some of it for something else. What was it you called it?
It's the lazy way to do a pie if you don't have a dough, or if you're bored to make one. Just mix it in with milk, flour, and eggs together with the filling, and you make it.
So you're basically making stuffing.
Yeah, but
I'll use all of it.
Oh, you took all of it?
Yeah. I'll make it a tall pie, because this is the good stuff.
Yep.
See, when we spread this, let me get this over here.
Now,
Yeah, but that's what we're gonna do.
Exactly.
Because we want to make it nice and
luscious.
Exactly, because this is a lot of good flavor. That's gonna make a very nice pie. And I can even get it down so that we get nice. Might though have to cut a little bit of the dough on the top sheet. We will see, but that's not for now to be decided. We will see once we put it on top. Here we go. That's nice and easy.
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect, that is. So I'm thinking not to cut it. I'm thinking we just squeeze it in, because it's nice dough anyway, and it tastes nice. And then we get...
I hope it won't overflow in the oven, no?
No, why would it do that?
Oh, okay. Don't make a mess in the oven then.
No, that's your concern, right?
Yeah.
It's not the pie, it's the mess in the oven.
The pie, I know it's going to be good.
Yeah. But these will look good once we bake them anyway.
It's perfect. I see from here it fits very nice.
Yeah, it fits nicely. Look at that. Pretty. Before we do anything, I will do the egg wash, because This is simply just 1 egg beaten up with a splash of water, nothing more, nothing less. Very simple. We want it nice and golden. You could use melted butter. It's also a possibility, but I like the egg wash better.
Nice, yeah. Gives nice color, makes it crispy.
Yeah, exactly. Butter makes it very pretty when it just comes out, but then it becomes saggy right after. Whereas with egg, it stays a little bit more crispy for a longer time. Just cover it like this, just a little bit. That looks nice. Black sesame seeds, looks good. We also did that on the last pie. I like that.
Yeah. It's good for decoration.
It makes it look pretty.
Yeah.
Like that, I think. That looks
Perfect.
good. Nice. And then we need to punch a couple of holes. I mean, you could do different ways.
You can carve it like vertically and horizontal also.
Yeah, we can make one like this.
And go diagonal.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
To make it pretty instead of just punching holes. That I think will make it look nice. Just be careful not to move the dough too much, but make sure you ventilate. That's basically the idea here. Otherwise it puffs up like a balloon and that's not good. Let me put that in here. And then preheated oven, middle rack, 180 degrees Celsius. And that will take half an hour, 35 minutes. We will yank it out when it's golden brown and show you the beauty. 35 minutes and it's looking real pretty. Let me show you. That is just a beauty. Although I'm not a pie master, I think that looks pretty. But now it needs to cool down quite a bit before we can cut into it. And here we are, nice and cool down. And isn't that a pretty piece of pie? I think it's very pretty.
Beautiful.
As I said before, I'm not a pie master, but that's the whole trick here. You don't have to be. And then also many people will say, pies, they're supposed to be round. No, in Greece they're rectangular.
Yeah, actually we never make them round.
No, exactly. Everywhere else they make them round, but it's a waste of space.
I didn't know that.
It's a waste of space. You don't optimize your oven space. Here, feta, pepper, crust, perfect.
How does it taste?
That's a great pie. If you don't like red pepper, obviously it won't be, but I love red peppers. That little hint of chili flakes gives it a little bit of heat, but with the cheese, and by the way, the salt level is absolutely perfect. So if you like pie, this is one you should try.